What's up, co-reporters, and welcome back to my channel. Disgraced former teen mom to star Janelle Evans went off the rails on Instagram stories last night in defense of her deadbeat husband, David Eason, who has just recently been charged with child abuse, which is a misdemeanor charge in North Carolina. That's actually how I knew something went down with David. I'm like, what is she going off about? The police? Trusting them with all her heart? What's happening here? And then I went on, the internet outside of Instagram, of course, and I found the news that David had been charged with child abuse. It was also wild. Let's take a look at everything it is that she's been saying, because this woman is absolutely throwing her children under the bus for dog killer David, just to prove yet again that it's still F them kids in 2023 with Janelle Evans. She is wild. I feel like if your team F them kids, they don't have kids, But if you have multiple kids and you're literally out here throwing them under the bus for your man, maybe you were meant to be child free, because this is just absolutely ridiculous, and it's got to be devastating and doubly traumatizing for these brave children who have spoken out about the horrors that they have seen and witnessed on that swamp over there. So this is her first Instagram story post. She says, "You would think police wouldn't make a one-sided police investigation." So one-sided means speaking with Jace, who allegedly showed up at the hospital with bruises on his neck and on his arms. Like, screw my son. That is so one-sided. How dare you only speak to him? And we know that that's not true. We know that they spoke to other people as well. In fact, Janelle talked about going to court and whatnot, and being buddy-buddy with the police officers and everything. So how do you go from that to one-sided? That sounds like multiple sides to me. She says they didn't conduct interviews, didn't ask any information from the parents. This seems like a very biased situation, like everyone before. Again, we know that they conducted an interview. It was already confirmed by legal sources who were already right about everything else that went down. They said that Janelle and David were trying to obstruct the interviews with the children, Kaiser and Ensley. And so a judge ruled that they would not be allowed to be present while they interviewed Kaiser and Ensley. So we know Jace was interviewed. We know Kaiser and Ensley were interviewed. So what does she mean, one-sided interview? And I think that that's why she's saying they didn't take information, conduct an interview with the parents. She's saying it's only the kids. So only the kids in this house who would be victims of child abuse are saying that there's child abuse in this house. So they are liars. F them. This is total BS. I just don't understand how there are people who support this woman, like, still to this day. Like, you saw the way she mistreated this child his entire life on TV. You saw her choose him over her children in 2019. And here she is again in 2023, 4 years later, all up in your grill on Instagram with some stupid pumpkin cartoon background talking about screw my kids, free David 2023. Like, this is wild to me. It's absolutely insane. She is not at all concerned with the fact that her son showed up with bruises, allegedly with bruises and on his neck and on his arm. Like, would that not concern a normal parent? Like, I only have a nephew, and if my nephew showed up like that, oh, best believe I'd be filling the street up with uppercuts. I would not be defending anybody who puts their hands on a child. That's crazy to me. Even if it wasn't my nephew, even if it was like my friend's kid or something like that, like, I would be up in arms. So the fact that these are her own kids and she really gives no Fs, and she wants to continue her gaslighting campaign against him. Wild. She's a certain level of evil, you guys. So she says, "I trusted the detective with all my heart. Forgot you can't trust cops. ... Silly me." Girl, rule number, and you should know this because you're a criminal. I'm not even a criminal. I've never been arrested, never dealt with the law. And I know that cops are able to lie to you while they're investigating you. So you would be really stupid to speak to these people without a lawyer. And I'm pretty sure that that's what they did, because that's why she's in this predicament. She's like, "I trusted him with all my heart." Do you even have a heart, girl? The jury's still out on that one. And then this came back. Like, she was spilling her own tea, thinking she was safe, and then this came back. But can we talk about the direct contradiction here between the first paragraph and the second last paragraph? You would think police wouldn't make a one-sided police investigation. They didn't ask for any information from parents. Meanwhile, she's saying that she trusted this guy with her heart, meaning she opened up She said some things. She was spoken to. She was interviewed, but she just didn't realize because she's an idiot that she was being interviewed. So now she's claiming that it's one-sided. So how is it one-sided? They never spoke to you, yet over here you trusted them with all your heart. Make that make sense. Make that make sense, Boo Boo the Fool. Then she finishes up by saying, I do not trust anyone around me, going MIA for a while. And by a while, she meant a whopping 5 minutes because the girl was back. You see that says 55 minutes ago? Here she is 40 minutes later with a new post saying, Columbus County Sheriff's Department, I believe, is the one doing the smearing campaign against my husband and needs to be held responsible. Literally, they told details to the media about a minor and gave no Fs. Have the emails to prove it. An open investigation is supposed to be kept private under all circumstances, especially when it involves kids. Let's go to court. I've been waiting on our day. I feel so violated by the system. Wait until the day you hear the truth. You will be begging me not to sue you. So there she goes again. Now, she's already thrown her kids under the bus 40 minutes ago for David Eason. And now she is trying to throw the cops under the bus. Can we just say, I find it so funny how these people, when other people are talking about their own issues with the cops and oppression and just like, abuse within the legal system, it's, oh my God, how dare you? Go back to your country or whatever. If you don't like it here, back the blue. I bleed blue. But once she's the one on the other end, it's cops are crickets. You can't trust cops. I'm suing these cops. It's a little funny, Janelle, I gotta say, it's a little funny. So let's poke some holes in this as well, okay? Because as usual, there are some holes to be poked. So now she's saying that the police department did the smear campaign and she's got emails to prove it. So if the police department was behind the smear campaign, Janelle, and you've got the emails to prove it, then why the hell have you been going off on the internet for the past few weeks, even as recently as maybe 2 days ago, blaming everything on your mom, claiming that the CPS people told you that your mom was the leak. Everyone knew your mom was a leak. I think you even said that the cops said your mom was a leak. So why would you, if you had the emails to prove that the cops were leaking, why were you blaming Barbara? Let's talk about that, right? And here's another thing she says. Literally, they told details to the media about a minor and gave no Fs. She doesn't say that they told lies. So to me, when she says that they're telling details, she's slipping up and saying, yeah, they told the truth about what was going on in this investigation to the press. And, I'm pissed because it makes us look terrible because what happened is indeed terrible, right? And so she then threatens to sue the police department. Good luck, Janelle. Good freaking luck. You're going to have to spread your cheeks a lot wider to come up with the money to sue that police department. It is just not happening. My God. Now, in her next little round of her tirade, she said, and I quote, I would never think that of you two. You guys are both great parents. Don't believe the media. I'm telling you myself, everything's okay on my end. Sure, Mr. Detective. Why is your office leaking everything? Janelle, that should have been your first clue that they were effing lying. Girl, you and I both know that you and David are not good parents. Nobody thinks you and David are good parents, except for other neglectful parents. And that doesn't count. So the fact that you really thought that someone would tell you and David that you're good parents, it really goes to show how dumb you are, because like, what the hell is this, right? And again, she's proving that she had been speaking to this detective, but then she's claiming that she was never spoken with. So did they speak to you or did they not? Because now we're on the third slide where you detail interactions that you had with the detectives. She says, another quote from the detective, it's not our office. I promise it's not coming from us. But your mom, on the other hand, all she kept talking about was MTV this and MTV that. So again, as usual, Barbara is thrown under the bus. So now we've got the kids thrown under the bus, the detectives thrown under the bus, and Barbara is back under the bus as usual. Like, it's giving. Do you guys remember back in the day, it used to be thanks, Obama, that little meme. It's giving that. Thanks, Barbara. So now in her final slide, she said, so now you understand my frustration. Now you understand where I get my information. I was being lied to this entire time. Proper protocol was not followed. I will say though, Janelle, I'm quite impressed that you know the word protocol and you spelled it correctly. So that's pretty great. I have no idea what human being I can trust anymore, not even my own blood. That is very ironic because I'm pretty sure that your son feels the same way. Your dusty ass, deadbeat, unemployed menace of a husband allegedly put the pause on Jace. You allegedly witnessed it, and you are still blaming this 13, 14-year-old child for everything. I'm sure he has no idea who he can trust at this point other than his mom, Barbara, because this really is insane. I feel like the gaslighting, the campaign, the propaganda campaign against him to discredit him, that Janelle is waging, I feel like that might even be more painful to him and more damaging to him than the actual alleged physical abuse. And that really just truly, truly breaks my heart for him. Again, this is a rotten, soulless, heartless woman that should have never, ever, 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 ever been blessed with the ability to have children, because this is insane. So she says, I'm being fed all these different stories from different people trying to get on my good side to then again betray me over and over. The media won't give me time to breathe. I know the truth, and so does God. So you see, in all of this, not one single word about Jace, how Jace is doing, Jace's recovery. I am heartbroken that this happened to Jace. Literally nothing. It's all about saving and protecting this demon of hers. And I don't understand it. I'm like, girl, you should be ecstatic. You finally got your escape route from this guy. Like, he literally adds nothing to your life. Like, he doesn't work. He speaks to you like garbage. He treats you like garbage. And I'm not just assuming this. These are things that you've been saying over the years. And he just keeps on getting you and your family in more and more trouble. So why not take this opportunity? So this is to the people who say, oh, Janelle, she's trapped with David. Like, she would be so great without him. Like, she needs, no, she doesn't want to leave David. She would choose her David over her kids every single day of the week. So spare me, and she's always been like that with all of her exes. She would pick any single one of her exes over her kids. If they said today, David is being locked up for a couple of years, now you either raise these kids alone in your home and like create a stable environment, or you get back together with one of your exes, but you'll never see these kids again. Guess what this girl's going to do? She will slap on her sheen outfits, head to the club to meet up with her exes, because there's no way in hell this woman is going to be spending her time with those kids. The whole thing is just truly baffling, truly heartbreaking. And it's just wild to see absolutely no growth in this person in all these years. You would think she learned her lesson back in 2019 when all of the kids were stripped from their custody for a while because of David's actions. But no, she hasn't learned that this is a terrible person. And you know why? Because she knows she's a terrible person as well. And she does not want to be without this guy, because for her, in my opinion, this man is a lot more important than any of her kids could ever be to her. And that's sick. Guys, let me know what you think about all of this. I am just beside myself with all of the news coming out today. I still got a couple more videos to go. So if you haven't already, do make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. I've also got some exclusive videos that come out to my channel members as well on a regular basis. So definitely make sure to check that out as well if you haven't already. Okay, you guys, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.